because you all are educators, most of you are principals and would relate with me. So today one parent came to me with a complaint and a concern about a teacher. Generally parents come with a complaint about the teachers. So I sat up straight, and I was thinking, no, not again, one more. So the moment I asked the father, sir, please tell me, I'm ready to take the feedback. So the father said, मैं आपकी टीचर से बहुत अपसेट हूँ. I said, sir, हुआ क्या, बताइए तो सही. So he tells me, your teacher gives me a call every day at 9:30 and tells, please सो जाइए, आप सब सो जाइए. And I was a little embarrassed and I called the teacher and I said that, let me ask that, why are you giving a call at such hour to a parent? So the teacher told me that, ma'am, the child comes to the class every day and sleeps. Seeing that particular child, the rest of the class becomes very lethargic. So one day I asked the child that, why do you sleep so late? So the child said, my papa comes very late. After that, we all sit together, eat together, talk. And then by the time I sleep, it is very late. So I feel very sleepy in the class. So, and she said that I took this as an endeavor to sit the sleep pattern of the family right. So I told the father, I said, look at the dedication of the teacher towards the child. She's trying to set a life skill and a value system for your child. Please do not feel offended. So, but these days, a lot of people don't value such things, and so it was something very, very strange and a different experience with me. So I just thought of sharing with all of you.
Yes.
So my question goes to Dr.
Ma'am, can I just add one more thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we have a lot of young people sitting. I'll just give you a very small example. In junior classes, we teach a chapter called Parts of the Body.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely.
So the students are told to identify head, eyes, nose. And many times I think that even in those classes, why can't the teacher, along with teaching parts of the body, tell about keeping the body clean, keeping the hair clean, keeping the brushing of teeth, because you have to very cleverly blend and juxtapose what you're teaching with life skills and values. One more thing I would like to add here: if the children can understand, please teach them to take care of their bodies, to protect their bodies. We come on to along with this child safety. It is your body, you have to respect it, and you have to, if anybody is violating your body, tell them no. So very cleverly we need to blend the teaching of because you asked me the question about academics with life skills and values. Thank you.
So, I would say, ma'am has put it in a very subtle way that the teacher has to, in day-to-day teaching, be very, very clear to the children about the life skills and the value systems. Because, as in the beginning, I said the children can forget the theorems, but the children will never forget that how the teacher treated them, and in a very subtle way she can teach all these 10 life skills that WHO is today talking about. So my next question goes to Dr. Mrinalini, who has been working with the leading organizations like DPS and GD Goenka, who is currently principal with Prominence World School, and it is also my neighbor school. So a question to you, Mrinalini madam, is, can co-curricular activities truly reinforce skills like empathy, decision-making, resilience? Could you share any real-life school practices that have done this effectively? So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for inviting me, for being a panelist in such a great, with such great eminent personalities. And it's nice to meet you virtually. Yes, co-curricular activities effectively build up life skills. Like for example, empathy. Activities like role play, street theaters, community outreach programs. It allows students to step into others' shoes, understand diverse perspectives, and also build compassion. So these kind of activities, I think almost every school has incorporated it into their monthly calendars, because this empathy is one of the, you can say, without empathy we are not human being. So that is why schools have realized it. Earlier it was I can say that earlier, because of less social media impact and less of screens in front of students, it was like these kind of values developed automatically by observations and by, you can say, their parents, when they are going out with their parents, when they are in the school. Now what has happened is that at home children are more engaged seeing mobile or TV. I'll give you a very simple example of it. When we are walking or when we are traveling, if we are engaged watching anything on mobile, we don't tend to observe anything around us. But the moment mobile is taken back from child or taken back even from adult, then you are forced to observe, oh wow, this green tree, this tree is so nice, these birds are so nice. So now, in order to develop the empathy or various life skills in students, it is very important to do activities like role play, community service. That is why it is incorporated into the curriculum. Otherwise, earlier it was not required. Now, coming to another life skill which can be developed, almost every school is having Model United Nation clubs. So these Model United Nations clubs actually help children in decision making, developing a skill which is called as decision making. So apart from it, school student led projects. So we have project based learnings, we have project based assessments also, where children are formed into a team, and one of the student automatically becomes a leader, and then they understand how to accommodate views of other team members, how to adjust, how to involve everyone, how to identify the strength and weaknesses of all the team members, and then use their strength and weakness. So a leadership quality also develops in the children. Apart from it, sports practices. We have sports. We have almost every school is having performing arts, adventure camps. Now these kind of activities develop resilience, so it challenges students to step outside their comfort zone, and teaching perseverance, adaptability, and mental strength and stability is very important. So I think almost every school is doing wonderful because every school has incorporated these kind of activities into their curriculum.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And definitely, it has added so much of more information to today's dialogue. And I can definitely say that life skill education is not a luxury these days, it is a necessity. And value education is not a ritual, it is a responsibility. So, my next and my last panelist for today is Mrs. Neelu, and she's currently principal with Sri Ram International School, Bhiwani. So, madam, are you there?
Jai Hind everyone.
Yeah. So, madam, the question that I would like to ask you, does the current CBSE framework give adequate weight to life skills and values? Or do you think that there are some existing gaps that we can all ponder upon?
Jai Hind everyone once again. Thank you so much for the question, Ms. Smriti. And I had been listening to all of you, all the fellow educators and the panelists. It has been such food for the thought for everybody. So, to the question that you have asked in the CBSE context in specific, right? So, the integration works best when it is intentional, what I feel. As ma'am has been talking about the role plays, the discussions, the storytelling. So, we go beyond textbooks always as far as CBSE curriculum is concerned. Okay, I would definitely like to quote specific examples, and I hope that was going to be beneficial for everybody else as well. Let's take an example from the chapter The Enemy, that is drafted written by Pearl S. Butt. My subject is English, so I'll take the English example first. In Great World. So values are already integrated in the CBSE curriculum across all the subjects. There is a quote in this chapter that says, I do not know whether I care more for him or for my own safety. Empathy, the conflict resolution, the resilience, the responsibility. These are the few skills that can be taught, taking the example from this chapter. At the same time, the theme of the chapter, it promotes the democratic values, the tolerance, and the civic sense as well. Quoting the example from, let's say, political sciences, there's a chapter in grade 12th again, democracy and diversity. So, this particular chapter, when the teacher is teaching in the class, tolerance, pluralism, cultural harmony, in form of the group debate or the group discussion, they can be taken. So you see, I can quote examples from several subjects over there. So we do not need to teach it separately, and values are not actually assessed, right? They are observed basically. And taking it ahead to biology, for instance, I hope we may have the biology teachers also there. The chapter Human Health and Disease, where when we talk about health literacy, when we talk about the personal hygiene, the emotional intelligence, as we already are aware about this, not only the emotional, the intelligence question that is important, emotional question, social question is also very important. So when we assign the tasks such as the students, they design a wellness campaign or the stress management diary also. Taking ahead for the accountancy, let's take an example from the national income and related aggregates. So, data interpretation. There, in a lot of decision making ability, brainstorming, mind boggling tasks has to happen. And students, they can, of course, evaluate how economic inequality it impacts the social value later on, like transparency and honesty in documentation part, it is also one of the ethical quality or a value, right? So important is that life skills, they are not additional burdens in the syllabus, and for that the mindset of the educators, the facilitators across all domains, be it the Montessori level, be it the middle school or the senior level or the senior secondary level, it has to happen. And they are actually the enablers of academic excellence. So, skills like critical thinking, emotional regulation, collaboration, and ethical reasoning also, they must be embedded in the learning objectives of all the major subjects. Also, one more thing I would like to share with you all. Like at my place at Sri Ram International School, we have developed literary value circles, and that has been an initiative by the English department in specific. So, wherein the children on Saturdays they come up with a story related to a theme that they have already studied, and similar kind of things are have been happening in other subjects as well. So once they are engaged in those kind of reflective writing or speaking, they enhance their academic part, of course. At the same time, when we talk about holistic development of a learner, as ma'am has already spoken about that, so we need to understand that what kind of the future leaders we are actually creating. Are we creating an army of students who are just the rote learners, or they're going to actually make a difference in the society? Also, the skill of leadership. We all have the student council in our schools, wherein the main task is to tell them that leadership is not something given or taken, it is shown. And this time, it is not only of leadership, this is a time of ambidextrous leadership, wherein these learners in nearby future, how many alike leaders they are going to create in whatsoever profession they are going to pick. So CBSE curriculum is already in alignment to that. The only thing is we need to unlearn and learn the innovative approaches and find out in a brainstorming way that what's going to work better for our learners and for ourselves and for the society. And I hope we all can together create the learners we are proud of, and they'll also make us feel proud of themselves. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, madam. And I can see madam has raised her hand. So, Miss Manvi, would you like to ask a question or want to make further note to it?
I just want to add on a few things that ma'am has said, and she really came up with a few beautiful points. The point is that anything that you want to embed, already CBSE is already in sync with, bringing in lot of value education as a part of training of teachers. Also, this is one of the generic assignments. But apart from that, the main emphasis is, as I said in the beginning, that school and parent needs to come together. In the school also, like she said, I have a literary club which is doing this activity. But then if you create a culture in school of anything,
you will make the children learn anything naturally. If you are talking about honesty, I will give you a small example because this I actually did as an experiment in my school. I when I start in the starting, I came to this school. This school had few cases of theft. So children picking up each other's notebook and doing it, which is a very common affair at times in schools. So I started a honesty shop over here. I did not have in the initial stage, I did not have a canteen. So I this room was without cameras, and we put in some dry stuff with the price tags, and this room was decorated. But when I initially started with this honesty shop, there were so many theft cases recorded because अगर हम 500 रुपए की चीजें वहां भरते थे तो we would hardly get 200 rupees and 300 rupees. Children used to take away and run, and we never used to track. So now we started doing it with a purpose. What we did was we started doing little story sessions in the assembly. We asked the value education teachers to brief little bit, or the note on the blackboard, the beginning of the copy has to be with some honesty statement. Talk to children about honesty, maybe in some way or the other. And then we started running this shop. It took us 8 months. But in that course of 8 months, we could see that slowly and gradually we could meet the 100% input. Like if we are putting at 1,000 bucks, so we would see that maybe one day we get 800, but the remaining 200 came next day. So the teachers ward who were studying, they used to tell us कि बच्चे लेते हैं सामान, but अगले दिन दूसरे से बोलते हैं यार पैसे रख देना, it is wrong that we are picking up things. So that realization came as a culture, not through any forceful action. So whether you talk of environment, whether you talk of anything, as a school, I feel that if you talk of water conservation, आप अपने water coolers के बगल में big buckets रख दीजिए. Tell the children when they board or deboard the bus, आप intervals में आप पानी फेंकिए नहीं, उस bucket में collect करिए. We will reuse it. We will recycle it. So that way, if you do it in the school, it becomes a culture. It is not a forceful action. So when you talk of this value system or your life skills, this, as you said, Smriti ma'am, I totally agree. They are never taught. They are always caught. So you don't need a defined curriculum. You just need to practice. If you wish your bus conductor good morning, if you treat your support staff with respect,
Absolutely.
automatically children will pick it up. They will learn it the way they have to put it forward. So that is what we all should think about.
What
Very
a
true.
wonderful dialogue
Very true.
we all had, and
Yeah.
I wish if the principal of Hermann Minor Degree College could give me more hour, I could extend this conversation and pick up so many good anecdotes from all of you. This shop of honesty is a wonderful idea. I would also like to implement it in my school. So when you meet such I would say profound educationists who are doing so well and imparting unconditional support to the children and to the society, I really feel that we are definitely treading to a better India and a better tomorrow. But today's dialogue reminded us and everyone that we are not just curriculum carriers, we are nation builders,
Yes, ma'am.
value givers, and emotional nurturers. Every worksheet we assign, every rule we enforce, every word we speak to a student is an opportunity to shape their inner world. And when that inner world is strong, the outer world cannot shake them. So let us
Very well. Very well said.
together to raise a
Uh,
generation that is not just intellectually competent, but also emotionally intelligent, socially aware, and deeply resilient. As the philosopher Plato once said, the direction in which education starts, a man will determine his future in life. Let us ensure that this direction is rooted in values and life skills. So, on behalf of Hermann Minor Degree College and at Advantage 360 Solution, I extend my heartfelt thanks to each speaker and every participant. Let us remember, we are not here just to teach students to score, but help them to soar. I emphasize, we are not here to teach students to score, but to help them soar. As Nelson Mandela wisely said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. And today, the world's need not just educated minds, it needs educated hearts. This dialogue has helped us explore how life skills and value based learning can be systematically and meaningfully integrated into the school's ecosystem, not as a substitute for academic excellence but as its natural and necessary enhancement. So over to the principal of Hermann Minor School. Thank you, ma'am, for giving
Thank
all
you.
of us this opportunity to be together on this platform.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you, ma'am. I'm truly grateful to each one of you for joining us today for the insightful panel discussion. I must say it's very insightful and very thought provoking. A big thank you to Advantage 360 Solutions for making this meaningful collaboration possible. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to our brilliant moderator, Ms. Smriti Samuel, ma'am, our esteemed panelists, Ms. Alka, ma'am, Manvi, ma'am, Mrinalini, ma'am, Neelu, ma'am, and Kanika, ma'am. Your experience, your wisdom have shed light on how we can evolve, how we can experience, how we can make the education meaningful. We are really inspired, ma'am, to take actionable steps from your insights. Thank you all for your passion, your presence. Let's keep working together to shape a future that empowers students in every sense. Thank you very much. Over to coordinator, madam.
Thank you so much once again. And whatever we have shared, I'm sure these thoughtful experiences we are going to carry forward. And with a bang, when we start our schools on Monday, we will have all these anecdotes ready to
Yes,
implement them into our schools. So thank
sure,
you
sure.
once again to everybody for such a wonderful interaction and giving us this opportunity. Jai Hind to everybody.
And one more thing I want to add, more than 450 participants are there today and our live streaming is viral. Thank you very much, extreme panelists. Thank you very much, moderator ma'am. Thank you, coordinator, and thank you, team. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. See you next
Thank
time.
you,
Bye.
For
everyone.
sure, we will
Thank
have
you.
more to come, more to come. Thank you.
Thank you,
Have a
everyone. Thank
blessed
you.
day.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Alka ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Sushma. Thank you, team at GDC, team Advantage. Good day, all of you. Good day. Thank you.